Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing really well, and if you're new here then please do just hit that subscribe button and you will receive more videos like this. So we're just going to get into the energy and see where you're at right now. So we are entering into full moon, so that might mean absolutely nothing to you, or it may have meaning to you, and every full moon isn't exactly the same. For some it could be quite an emotional time. For some it can just be a revealing or a revelation within you. And for some it can just be, not really that relevant or affect you in any kind of way. A lot of the time people are like, oh, full moon, this must mean an impact of some form. It doesn't always have to mean that. Sometimes it's just acknowledging where your energy is right now. So it can just be observing and awareness. And you may be, what I'm feeling at the moment is many people just kind of in an awareness. You might be more aware or having realizations about things that you need, or perhaps some clarity in a direction that you want to go in your life. Okay, so, but it is usually about something that you want to strip away, release, or just cleanse at this time. Oh, there's two that came out together there. What do we have? Okay, your trust is flowing right now. Your ability to trust yourself. You're in some kind of alignment with this. And I feel like that might be new for you. And you're sitting in a space right now within yourself that you haven't sat there before, or it feels strangely new, exciting to a point, but calm. It doesn't feel like exciting in a adrenal kind of way. It feels exciting in a way of like contentment almost. That's what I'm getting from this. Now, you've done a lot of work on some aspects of yourself. You've asked yourself a lot of questions to discern what path you want to take, what direction you want to go in. And for some of you, you might not really be big dreamers, but you perhaps have had some kind of like prophetic dream or some kind of vision that's come through to you that you can't ignore. Maybe you keep getting flashbacks of that come back through and you can't ignore what you've seen there. Yeah, movement, rado. This is the energy that seems to be coming through at the moment over the past 3 days. So with the full moon, I always go with 3 days. The day before, the day that it's at its fullest, and the day after is the energy that we tend to sit in. And it's like a slow process building up to some kind of release. So something is changing in your energy. Something is changing in how you go about things for yourself in the way of trust. So you're learning to trust yourself. You're learning to trust yourself on an emotional level. This is telling me. Lagos is water. It's water energy. It's emotional. It's feminine. And Ingwas is like a self-container. It's like a chrysalis that you might put yourself into. And within that, you learn to trust the process. You learn to trust what you are going through. And someone here, I feel, has gone through a bit of an emotional episode. Perhaps you have understood some emotions. Maybe in the past you have always been good at suppressing those emotions and distracting yourself with other things, whereas you've actually allowed yourself to sit in this. And it's actually felt good. I feel like it's kind of collapsed some patterns, and it's allowed you to awaken an ability to see which way you want to go, It's a bit like trying to drive without a roadmap, isn't it? Or without your sat nav or whatever and things like that. Yeah, you can guess and stuff, but when you can clearly see something in front of you as a plan, it makes things just that little bit easier. And it's like the map's inside of yourself. You've got your own map and you're starting to trust that map now. Whereas before you didn't really have a map, or you didn't trust it, or you were following somebody else's. Okay, so let's get into the T cards and see what they are saying to us right now. Okay, Cup, you should accept valid criticism. So you, during this full moon, something may have been said to you that you are thinking about, that you're pondering right now as to what does that really mean? And maybe it's made you look at yourself in a different way. Maybe it's some kind of pattern or habit that you didn't really register you had, but now it's become a conscious thought. Somebody working against you behind your back. So I don't feel the criticisms come from this person. I feel like this is something that's going on in the background, that somebody doesn't like what you're doing right now. Maybe you're not giving them your attention. The reason is because they aren't satisfied with their life. You know, there's a person in your energy that they're not satisfied with things going on in their life. They don't like to see you becoming more satisfied in your life, but that's not your problem, okay? There's a saying, that sounds like a you problem. When you say it sounds like a you problem, it sounds like a you problem, okay? Know what's yours and what isn't. You don't have to apply yourself to everybody's problems, and some people will engineer something to grab your attention, but recognize when that's pulling you away from your own needs and desires. Yeah, beware of self-delusion. So something in your energy here is kind of, this is why the full moon can be very useful, because it will illuminate absolutely everything. Nothing can hide from that light. It's going to highlight things that have been hiding in the darkness. I feel like for many of you, you're starting to trust yourself now on what that is, what that could be. And you're recognizing, you know, okay, maybe I wasn't right about that, or maybe I convinced myself of this. Okay, and crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. Now, for some of you, this feels to me like something from the past that could be to do with this person that's working against you. I feel like they're perhaps you were always going to do something together. Maybe you were always going to follow some kind of path here, some kind of road, but you've realised that isn't the road for you. And that's created, you know, this was always going to be, so whether, I don't feel for many of you it was the conception of a child. It could be more like an enterprise or some kind of lifestyle choice, a way of being with somebody else. But something's changed with that now. It's not that you've changed your mind on that particular thing, but I feel like you've changed your mind on who you do that, who you collaborate with, who you do that with. Honour and respect will come to you. So the decisions that you're making and the way that you're trusting yourself now, and you're trusting what you're feeling, you're learning to go with that gut instinct. You know, what makes me feel calm and what makes me feel terribly, you know, excitedly anxious, that kind of thing. And you're discerning now, actually feeling calm isn't boring, it's actually good for me and it makes me feel better, and things seem to happen that are positive. Down this road, things just seem to get a bit gnarly, things just seem to get a little bit chaotic. So the decision that you've made, and it feels like you've made a decision, you're being told here you will be honoured and respected for this. You have chosen correctly. You've chosen in a way that is aligned with your highest good. So if you had any doubts about the past, don't. Because this direction that you've chosen, this journey that you've chosen to go on, it's the right path. It feels good. An older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman. So there could be somebody here that perhaps I need more information on her. Okay, yeah. So this person, they're telling you that things won't always be this way, that things are going to improve, things will be better. But I feel like they've maybe said something to you recently or made you realise something that you didn't realise before. And this older woman, I feel like they have a significant place in your life. They could be maybe a mother figure, an auntie, a sister. It's older than you, so it can't be your daughter. I don't know why I was going to say that. But it's a significant woman. It could be somebody that you work with, you know, but it's somebody that is particularly, what they say, sometimes the words that they speak really do resonate with you and you really do pick up on them. you know, but they've had you realizing that there is a change coming. So that saying here, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. Now, remember when we said about this being like a chrysalis? Well, there's the caterpillar getting ready for that change, getting ready to go in. And that's where you've been. You've been in there, and that's why now this change is created for you. Now, yeah, like we say, there is that somebody working against you because they're dissatisfied with their life because you've chosen a different path to what they thought. But you've made that discernment, you've made that realization that wasn't right for me. And again, I'm going to reinforce this. Because of that, it says, 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. You are aligning yourself with a very fortunate path because of the choices that you have recently made. Under this full moon, from the new moon to this full moon, the past 2 weeks, you've been making decisions and choices that have been aligned with your highest good. Yes, and that's bringing you solid foundation and success with effort. So this is what you were looking for. This is what you needed, a real solid foundation. You know, this is solid. It's completion. It's completion. And you're learning to trust yourself on this now. And that's what's creating that foundation, that solid foundation. Because before it was very unstable because you were here, there and everywhere. But now you've applied your energy and attention into this one direction. It has a solid foundation. Oh, we have romance, celebration and party on the bottom of there. So I do feel there is a lot to celebrate around this. It's a nice energy, a good energy. So let's get into the cards then for what we're talking about on here. What information do we have for this collective today? Did something flip over then? I believe so. No. Let's keep going. So what do we have for you? Okay, so we've got the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position. So there's still an element of not knowing what role you're playing, or perhaps a fear over, almost like a feeling of imposter syndrome, like, can I keep this up? You know, you may have made decisions that would have been unusual for you to have made in the past. And there's maybe something in the back of your mind going, what if I go back to previous ways? What if I go back? So that way of thinking is actually holding you back a little bit and creating an element of lack. It's like you're locking yourself in rather than being expressive. And what is required for you on this path is about expression. Yeah, you've got the Tower. There is a sudden change about to occur, if not already, and this is bringing some new inspiration, okay? What was once is no more, and what's been broken there was not a solid foundation, so you could have flicked it and it would have collapsed, okay? But you were trying to sort of keep it together. Now, like we said before, it's not your issue how somebody responds or reacts to what you do in your life, okay? If somebody doesn't like what you're doing, or the fact that you're not paying attention to them anymore, or you've had this recognition of like, this enterprise or this, you know, this collaboration together, it's not working for me, I need to step back. You're the one that's created change in this, but for the greater good, not just for yourself, but for others as well. Yeah, because you've had a realization about unconditional love. It feels like you've awakened to, or had clarity on what is good for you, what actually is nourishing, what feels like the right kind of fertility. So before, when we said that birth and conception, you've been looking for some fertile soil in another person, I feel, or you've been looking for something that will help you to grow. Maybe for some of you, you do want to have a family. Perhaps you do want to have a child here and it hasn't worked out in the past, and now you're stepping away from this person. There's an element here of forgive yourself if there's any part of you that feels bad for walking away, because actually this is for the greater good of everybody concerned. It is. And you're having clarity on what is the best thing to do. It's like you're seeing it from a different perspective. And in the past you haven't really trusted your emotions, you've just gone along with it, whereas now you're being very responsible in, I'm choosing this direction and I'm sticking with it. So again, just try not to worry about that feeling like, well, what if I divert, what if I step back kind of thing. You've made such a big impact and change on this. It feels like you've collapsed a whole load of patterns here. So I don't feel that you will, because it won't feel right going back to that. And you're very clear on this now. You're very clear on what it is that you want. Okay, we've got the Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck there as well. So that is like deepening love, deepening connections and new beginnings as well. Okay, so what do you need to focus on right now? Yeah, so Seven of Cups. Keep focusing on the decision that you've made. You know, this card usually represents illusion and so many different opportunities. But there's been a break in the illusion. There's no more illusion, and it's almost like there's only one true path that's become visible. All of the paths don't seem to feel like the right path. And that's because it's brought you a balance. It's brought you a real balance, and you started to realise, like, I'm safe here because there's whatever I do, it's reciprocated. And that's new for you, I feel. You're not used to that level of reciprocity. You're accepted as you are as well. I feel like you're allowed to be who you are. But for some of you, this is actually, you are raising, this is going to sound really weird. Some of you are like turning into wizards or something. It's like this is expanding your intuition. It's actually bringing a lot of creative energy to you. You're thinking more about your future. You're thinking more about your skills and the things that you have and things that you can do. And it feels very, very positive that you're focused on this future that you want to reach. You're doing it slowly. I feel like you're taking your time with it, which is good. But you are reaching that point. I don't feel like you're expressing that though. I don't feel like you're kind of making that clear. You're just doing that. Yeah, and the reason is because you've given away all your plans before. You've kind of discussed things before, and then things haven't happened. And it's like going back to that, you know, things being broken, things not going the way that you thought that they were going to go. But maybe that isn't the case anymore. And maybe in you know, expressing yourself on an emotional level, perhaps explore how safe you are to do that in this particular direction that you are entering. Okay, what advice do we have for you? Actually, let's see, what do you need to let go of? Because I feel like there's something during this full moon. What do you need to let go of during this full moon? Okay, so it's letting go of an inability to show your emotional side. I feel like there's an area of your life where this needs to be seen. Like, allow yourself to open your heart. Be safe to do that. Feel safe to do that. Because it's going to allow more flow. So it's a release of emotion. A release of emotion that needs to happen. And this is actually going to bring a deeper commitment into your life. And this could be through the form of messages. Now, for some of you, this could be you receiving a message from somebody very heartfelt, very emotional, that's going to kind of give you an inroad to be able to express a few things. But it feels like you're on the verge over these next few days, over the next 5 days potentially. Yeah, just watch for that, because it feels like there could be some emotional conversations coming through that are about commitment, and this is because you're opening up to this. So if that's what you're looking for, you want that kind of security and foundation, that's what's heading. Okay. And we have the Lovers on the bottom of here. So for many of you, I feel like this is you're leaving behind something that was unstable, and you're moving into something that feels stable and secure. And this full moon is kind of like the final detachment, the final release. But you're being guided to, because you care about people, I feel. You care about how people are, how they feel. But there are some people that they are working against you because they know they can manipulate that in you. They know that they can pull you back in, making you feel sorry for them. So that's why you have to keep that mantra. It sounds like a you problem. Okay, if someone's got an issue and they're like, I need your help with this, I need your help with this, and you've been there several times, you know you can't fix that person, you can't help that person, they have to do it for themselves. Yeah. Keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on the direction that you want to go in. It's almost like, run away, run away. Don't allow anything to slow you down on this journey, because there's victory in it, a lot of victory. And that's because you're working now, it's like you're working together as a team. This might not be just with one person, actually. It could be like a few people, but it feels like you feel like you're part of something now. Like you feel like you're a part of something, and that feels solid. It feels like strong, like you've actually got that structure now. Yeah, you're winning. You're definitely winning, but you may be trying to plan too much far ahead to stay winning, if that makes sense. You know, you've defeated a lot of demons. You've defeated a lot of things that have tried to stop you in the past. And in the past, I feel like you've allowed people to get in your head. You've allowed people to kind of divert your time, your energy into something else. You're not allowing that anymore. 5 is a significant number now. The 5th of October, I feel, is a significant date for you, with things that are going to change from this point now to the 5th of October. This is a timeless recording though, so if you're watching this at any other point in the year, it will be the 5th of that month that this is relevant to. But there's definitely something about you overcoming a lot of obstacles and issues that were problems in the past that aren't any longer those problems, okay? Because it's holding you back from this happily ever after that you're looking for. Having that in the background is what you need to detach from. This is what you're releasing during this full moon, so that you can have that happily ever after, because you deserve it. Why not? You deserve to have that. Just seen a butterfly flying across there, a bright white one. You know, you are ready to transform. You know, we've just been talking about that caterpillar, the chrysalis. And the sun card just flown out. Wow. So you're transitioning. This is the transformation. Has gone from being all the work that you've done within you now has helped you to manifest this life that's coming towards you. Everything that's happened here has been because of your thoughts and your actions based on those thoughts. Everything that's happened between last October to this October now, that thought process, you have had to complete cycles, you've had to repeat patterns, but now you've got to a point in this full moon where you can quite easily go, I'm done with that. That's gone. And this is what's bringing it in for you now. There is an element of, I do see somebody visiting some sacred sites. It feels like you're going to be going to some very spiritual places over the next couple of months, and that's going to be nice. It's just like nice time away, time out, and you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You may even meet new people as well on that journey, which is very interesting. And you're leaving behind something in you that you felt was really important. It's almost like any vanity is no longer something that you are upholding anymore. You're leaving that behind because you want stability and security over how things look. You've gone from maybe surface level connections to deep connections that are rooted. this is good. This feels very healthy for you, and you've made this happen through, you know, trusting yourself, through expressing your emotion and feeling it, allowing yourself to feel it, and that change in direction that you've brought that in. You've brought that in. So what is your outcome here? I like this reading, so if this resonates with you, please do get in touch. I'd love to do a full reading on this to give you that information. Yeah, you're unpacking a lot. You're unpacking and unburdening a lot. And it's almost like I can see you like giving back a lot of things that you need to give back to somebody. It's like, oh, I don't need this anymore. I don't want this anymore. Yeah, you are becoming so much stronger in yourself. You're trusting yourself. You've been very brave to make the changes that you've made. And some people, they don't get it. Do you know what I mean? They won't understand your choices, your decisions. But there are new people in your life now that seem to be very understanding of this. And it feels like the past year, you've kind of brought these people into your life, and it makes you feel happy. It's actually caused you to pay attention to what feels like, I'd rather go here than I would there. You know, whereas you always used to go here, you may be like, I wonder what those guys are up to. I'm missing them actually. I want to go and spend time with them rather than over there. That's what that feels like to me. And this is enjoyment. I can see you actually enjoying time with these people. Perhaps you go out partying, maybe you have celebrations with them, or there's a lot to celebrate with them, or you just do a lot together. But there's this energy of contentment that's aligning with you right now. Okay, so I'm going to leave this reading here for you. If that resonates with you and you have any specific questions, you want to know more, then please do get in touch. My details are down in the description box. And yeah, I will speak to you very soon. Have a blessed day.